The thrilling journey of Crew-10 has come to an end, marking a significant milestone in space exploration. After spending over 140 days aboard the International Space Station, ISS, the crew, comprising astronauts from NASA, Japan, and Russia, has safely returned to Earth. Led by NASA astronaut Anne McClain, the mission, named Crew Dragon C-210 Endurance, undocked from the ISS on August 8, 2025 at 22:15 UTC. The following day, the spacecraft successfully splashed down off the west coast of the United States, concluding their historic mission. But here's where it gets interesting. The initial plan for undocking was on August 6th, but high winds off the Southern California coast caused unexpected delays. The weather conditions had to be carefully monitored, and the teams reviewed the situation before giving the green light for departure. Crew-10's departure marked a handover of responsibilities to the newly launched Crew-11 astronauts. Zina Cardman, Michael Finke, Kimiya Yui, and Oleg Platonov of Crew-11 took over from McClain, Nicole Ayers, Japan's Takuya Onishi, and Russia's Kirill Petskov. Japan, a vital partner in the ISS program, will now have a continuous presence on the station for approximately 1 year, with JAXA astronauts aboard for 2 consecutive expedition increments. This marks a significant achievement for the Japanese Space Agency. The Expedition 73 crew, including both Crew-10 and Crew-11, posed for a memorable photo before the latter's departure. Roscosmos's Platonov replaced Crew-10's Peskov, and he, in turn, will be succeeded by Oleg Artemyev of Crew-12. This arrangement ensures redundancy and a continuous presence on the ISS, as Russia and the United States have agreed to launch their astronauts on each other's crew vehicles, safeguarding against potential mishaps with either the Soyuz or Crew Dragon spacecraft. After undocking, Endurance spent some time in orbit before deorbiting and splashing down in the Pacific Ocean. The spacecraft's splashdown occurred off San Diego on August 9, 2025 at 8:33 a.m. Pacific Time, 15:33 UTC. This marked a historic moment as Crew-10 became the first NASA ISS crewed mission to splash down in the Pacific off California. Crew-10's return follows the successful missions of Fram-2 and Axiom-4, which were the first to utilize the West Coast for their returns. SpaceX strategically changed the Crew Dragon's return area to the West Coast due to the jettisoning of the Dragon's trunk after the deorbit burn. This revised procedure was implemented after unexpected large pieces from Dragon trunks survived re-entry, posing a potential risk if they re-entered over land on a Florida-bound trajectory. Additionally, the weather conditions off Southern California are generally more favorable for landings compared to Florida's coasts, where rough weather and sea state conditions have caused delays in the past. SpaceX's recovery ship Shannon was on site to retrieve Endurance and its crew. The exact splashdown site was west of San Diego. While Shannon remains active, the recovery ship Megan has been retired, as SpaceX no longer requires 2 active ships for landings on both sides of the Florida Peninsula. After splashdown, a recovery crew swiftly converged on the floating Crew Dragon to check for any hydrazine leaks from the spacecraft's thrusters. Once the spacecraft was given the all-clear, Shannon moved in closer and used its retrieval gear to bring Endurance onto its recovery deck. The crew aboard Shannon, including a medical team, assisted the astronauts in exiting the capsule and wheeling them to a medical area on the ship. After a thorough medical check, assuming all is well, the astronauts are flown by helicopter to shore and then back to Houston. In one instance, during the Crew-8 mission, the astronauts were taken to a hospital in Pensacola, Florida, out of an abundance of caution. But typically, returning crews are flown directly back to Houston after leaving the ship. 3 of the astronauts from Crew-8 returned to Houston after being discharged, while 1 was hospitalized for a period before leaving. In addition to the Crew-10 astronauts, Endurance also carried critical science samples aboard the Polar Portable Cold Storage Facility. This facility, is designed to transport temperature-sensitive experiments between the ISS and the ground, maintaining samples at -80 degrees Celsius to ensure their integrity. Crew-10's astronauts have been conducting numerous experiments on orbit over the last few months, and these samples are now safely back on Earth. Crew Dragon Endurance, having completed its 4th flight with Crew-10, will now be taken to Shannon's home port of Long Beach before being transported to the factory in Hawthorne for refurbishment. It is likely that Endurance will continue to be used for ISS missions until the station's retirement, which is currently scheduled for the 2030-2031 timeframe. This remarkable journey of Crew-10 showcases the collaboration and dedication of international space agencies, pushing the boundaries of human exploration and scientific discovery.